So are you paying Miles?
I don't know. I've been a big Miles Sanders, apologist for a while, and even back the past couple of years, he's not been healthy. And the fact he couldn't score a touchdown last year, his fault or not, whether you thought they pulled him out at the goal line too many times, it is a concern. And the injuries have been a concern. He's been healthy, and this year he's been great. This year, Miles Sanders deserves a new contract. But can you just take this year and forget about the last year's? That's my big question mark. I think the problem with running backs is that paying them a second contract never really works out that well. And you saw that with Zeke Elliott. You've seen that, at least you did see it with Saquon Barkley last year. He seems to be playing a lot better. But these are like top 5 picks, not second-round draft picks like Miles Sanders was. So I think it would depend on how much he wants. I think Miles has to go into the next offseason. Let's say he has 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, right? A great year overall, for a running back. He has to decide if he wants to go take money from somebody who's not as good, because there will be a mediocre football team that'll pay him way more than Philadelphia, or take a fair offer, stay in Philadelphia, and keep on winning. That's going to be up to him. If he doesn't want to take a fair offer, or at least a team-friendly deal, then you just go to the draft and you draft somebody, because there are a ton of really good running backs in this year's draft. And you can start with Bijan Robinson, who's going to be a first-round draft pick, which, let's say your second first-round draft pick is 32 overall. Who's to say you don't go pass rusher at 4 or 5, whatever it is, and then Bijan Robinson at 32? I think most Eagle fans would rather have Bijan for the next 4 years on a cheap rookie contract than what it would be Miles Sanders for the next 2 on a little bit more of a veteran contract.
Yeah, I love Miles Sanders, but I'm just never one in the camp of paying running backs.
Yeah.
Especially when you have the offensive line that we have. I'm sorry, Miles, but there's a lot of dudes, like you said, coming out this draft, and there's a lot of other dudes, free agents, whatever, that you could put behind this offensive line that's going to get those yards. I'm not saying Miles isn't a great running back, but we don't need a $1 million man running behind this line. We could get with a cheaper dude with this offensive line. This offensive line is really, really crazy. A lot of dudes can look really good behind this offensive line. So I would love, Miles isn't going to want to, I'm not GM, but Miles would not want to stay with what I would be giving him.
Fair.
So
that kind of comes to the issue here is, like, if it comes down to it, you want James Bradberry or Miles Sanders, right? You want TJ Edwards or Miles Sanders, right?
TJ,
all of them,
all the J's,
all the J's. I know.
No, all the J's.
I do like Miles Sanders. I think he's great.
Johnson.
I have no issues with Miles Sanders. Big fan of his. But when it comes to running back contracts, if you overpay him, I mean, it almost never works. And Christian McCaffrey's contract. I mean, the 49ers traded for him. They gave up the sun, moon, and stars, and then they're still going to owe him like $1 billion the next couple of years. And the guy's never healthy. And CMC is way better than Miles Sanders. It's just risky. It just seems a little too risky.
It's really risky, especially since we have so many people that need money. Yeah. You got to start putting it in a who do we value, like who's valued more.
Right.
And I'm paying defense. I'm paying defense, Jeff Stoutland, and this offensive line before I'm paying any running backs. I'm sorry.
I agree. I totally agree.
I feel bad, honestly, for the running back position because they in that boat, but it just is what it is.